Welcome back to Let's Play the Capo 2. I just uploaded the previous part today as I'm recording. And the most randomest thing I observed from that recording was when I was just like, I woke up from freaking terrible, freaking weird vivid dreams. And then the day I happened to record, kind of deja vu there. I freaking woke up from another weird-ass vivid dream nightmare or whatever. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was like, I think it had something to do with Pokemon. It was really weird. I think it was even had a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh thrown in there. It was weird as hell. I remember at the end of it, I think like I'd like been knocked into a coma or some shit, or frozen like to a ridiculous point where it was surprising that I was still alive or some shit, I don't know. And they had like Pokemon like Charizard and all that to freaking gal around to like heat me up so that I don't freeze to death or some shit. It was weird as hell. But yeah. So where we left off, I was undecided on this, wasn't I? Well, you keep looking in this direction, so screw it. We'll go to the academy. Although it was my day off, I thought maybe there might be someone there. So I went to our classroom. Because the Christmas party was coming up, I already saw several students on the way here. There are a few girls who were in charge of props for the puppet show. I thought maybe I could help or take part in the rehearsal, but it looked like there wasn't anything for me to do. Also in the classroom was our homeroom teacher, lonesomely standing by the window. The rule said that because it was Sunday, there needed to be a teacher in the classroom, or the students couldn't do work. I heard Coco was here earlier this morning, but there weren't too many others. I felt bad for the teacher who had to come to school on Sunday. I appreciate your efforts. Nobody was there after all. Simmer, simmer. Simmer, simmer. Good, that should do it. I turned the stove off for a moment. The smell of curry filled the room. I just need to let it sit for about an hour. I washed my hands and headed to the living room. Is that always the first thing out of your mouth? It's earlier than our normal dinner time, isn't it? The clock said it was a little past 6. What time is it now? I was wondering, I was like, maybe it's 6 right now, but no, it's 20 to 8, I think. Indeed, the smell of curry was mouth-watering. You need to wait for another hour. I think I had curry yesterday. Curry tastes better after sitting for a while. I calculated the time so I could serve you the best curry. She spoke with such a cheerful smile. Okay, I understand. I'll get it ready right away. As I headed to the kitchen, the doorbell rang. Yeah, who could it be at this time of day? I turned around and headed to the front door. Yes, who is it? Have we even seen this part of the house before? I opened the front door. That's an odd kind of like window you got going here. There was Anzu standing with blushed cheeks and a downcast look. What's going on? She said I came. Well, when you just if you keep wording it in such ways, just like she just said I came, just like, well, that could be taken the wrong way. She cast me an upward glance.
私、本当はずっと。ってあんず、何言ってるのよ。ダメだよ、ココちゃん。これから面白いところだったのに。だって。
Is it just me or does she look out of place? I don't know. Like, if with both of them on screen at the same time, she just like kind of looks like she's way further back or something. I don't know. I don't know, maybe it's just because she's got ridiculously long hair. Coco and Arcane appeared from the other side of the pillar while talking loudly.
惜しい。
She grinned.
吉行も何デレデレした顔してるのよ。
I didn't have such a look on me. Instead, I think I had a blank look on my face. I don't recall making plans for the free Setsu Gega girls to come over, I think. I tried to remember, but no such arrangement came to mind. What can I do for you?
ほら、人形劇の本番まであまり時間ないじゃない？だから打ち合わせとかしようと思って。という建前のもと、吉行の手料理をご商売に預かろうと。
That's very blunt.
ココちゃんが吉行くんの手料理が食べたいって言うから。言ってないよ。食べたいって言ったのあんずじゃない。くんくん、この匂い。今日はカレーね。私カレー大好き。なんかすごくお腹空いてきた。
The Setsu Gega girls were talking selfishly. They simply came over because they wanted to eat. Is going home one of your choices?
もちろんないわ。そんな選択肢誰も望んでないしね。あったとしても選ばないよ。吉行、お腹空いたよ。
Huh. How did this happen, man? We just like... He arrives home and he starts making curry and his like sister all like, I'm hungry, make it quickly. It's like, but it's better served when it's just like, no, make it quickly now. And then they use free shop. It's like, we want some of your curry too. Just like, why? Oh well, I made more than enough anyway. Why don't you come in? I let them in.
お邪魔します。どうも。
Seriously.
なんか吉行の家に入るのって久しぶりだな。
Who just randomly comes over to someone's house and just like, I'm gonna eat some of your food. Well, I guess, yeah. There probably are a lot of people like that. Just like you have friends, you just come over, just like, mind if I raid your fridge? And then without even waiting for answers, just start raiding your fridge. You're just like, hey! They head to the living room on their own as if they were in their own house. There were 3 visitors, so now there were 6 people. I knew we had plenty of curry, but I wondered if we had enough rice. As I headed to the kitchen, I realized there was a bigger problem.
おいしい。
The bigger problem was that this is not the kitchen.
吉行ってやっぱり料理上手だよね。だって私の弟くんだもん。
Somehow Otone held up her head proudly.
おかわり。
Wait, that'll be foods for you.
私いつもそれぐらい食べるし、それに美味しいから甘口でいい感じ。これ一応褒め言葉ね。
It's a mystery where everything you eat goes. It's always like the ones that don't seem like all that big, you know, that eat the most. It's definitely not going to your chest.
いいのよ。ない土にはない土の良さがあるから。一番悪いのは中途半端に小さいやつ。
There's those eyes again.
なんで私を見るのよ、二人して。
Nothing.
別に。さっきからココちゃんちょっと得意そうな顔してるね。してないよ。ココは胸に自信持ってるから。別に私は。 よしゆき、何見てるのよ。
I'm not looking at anything. Sure I am. Coco was more vulturous than I thought.
でも、あかねには負けるけど。
Remember earlier in this LP where I was just... It's like, this whole freaking visual novel seems to have a lot of flat-chested girls, and I included Coco in that, but apparently that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, and that one right there is definitely true, isn't it? Again struck her chest out proudly. It emphasized her bouncy boobs.
だから何見てるのよ、よしゆき。
Why was Coco angry? I was looking at Akane's boobs.
中途半端。
She pointed to Coco's breasts.
すごくここっぽい。でね、めちゃくちゃココちゃんっぽいよね。何よ、ここっぽいってどんなのよ。
It was noisy around the dinner table. Except for one person. Yume-sama, would you like seconds? I asked Yume, who was sitting next to me, to see how she was doing.
どうぞお構いなく。
She looked away. As I expected, Yume-sama was in a bad mood. I could only imagine how she was going to tell me off after Coco and the other girls went home. That made me feel depressed just thinking about it. Another sigh from you, most likely.
ごちそうさまでした。よしゆきくん、美味しかったよ。
Seriously, that was just such a random scene. It was like something right out of shuffle. Just a random scene for the heck of it.
満足じゃ。
I went outside to see the three girls off. Oh, ugh. It was completely dark. The cold winter air was completely colder without the sun.
ずいぶん長居しちゃったね。
It was only a little past 9, but I didn't think it was safe for the girls to walk home alone at night. Maybe I should walk someone home.
ココちゃんは商店街の方だったよね。うん。私とあかねは高台の向こう側。
That meant Coco would be walking alone, but Anzu and Akane would be walking further. But I should help Ordinate clean up too. Our numbers had increased to 6 all of a sudden. Oh no! The most important choice of all time! What should I do? Yeah, it's like, that's just such a scenario that we could totally have choices. So what do? Do we help Ordinate clean up? Do we take Coco home, or do we take them home? Well, if you're worried about just like safety and all that, at least they're both walking home. But you got your duty to clean up, but Coco's walking alone. But that's probably not too far away. So one of these two. Scrap. Walking alone at night isn't safe. Okay, I'll walk Coco home.
じゃあね、バイバイ。またね。また明日。
Okay, see you. I waved at Anzu and Akane, and then stood next to Coco.
って、なんでついてくるのよ。
Your goofy faces! Well, I thought I'd walk you home.
え？
You're going home alone, right? It's not safe walking by yourself.
もしかして、心配？
Of course, come on, let's go. Coco and I walked next to each other down a dark street. The cherry blossoms, they're everywhere. There was nobody else walking there. The time passed quietly. The wind felt so cold. It's cold. No shit. Coco nodded with a serious look on her face, just like, yeah, that is indeed very, very much true.
よしゆきはなんで私のことを？ なんでもない。
Coco laughed suddenly to change the subject. How strange of her.
今日は楽しかったね。
Yeah,
また遊びに行ってもいい？
Sure, but no more surprise visits.
そうだね。
On her way home, Coco was smiling joyfully the entire time. You know what would be a really random visit that absolutely surprise anyone? Say you got a friend that lives in a different country, but you know their address, but you've never seen them, and then suddenly you just out of nowhere just appear at the doorstep. It's like, sup? You're just like, what? Just like, yeah, I decided to pay a visit. You didn't tell me anything about this. It's like, yeah, I thought I'd come over. It's just like, but different countries. You didn't even inform me that you were coming. It's like, how the hell did you find this place? I'm kind of good at finding locations. Besides, you told me your address. That's all I needed. Just like, well, this is a really random visit of you. On her way home, Coco was smiling joyfully the entire time.
Good evening. 今夜もまだ起きててくれたかな？夜更かしさんのお休みの時間、明日の目覚まし予報の時間だよ。明日の朝の方であなたの一日を占っちゃおう。さて、いつもより早起きだったあなた。
What the hell is this? Is this like your alarm clock speaking to you? It won't shut up. Getting up early. Like they have like the little facial expressions, just like yay, and like just like screw it. Usual time. I woke up at my normal time, but I was still sleepy. Besides, it's colder today. I was cold but sleepy. I'm going to freeze to death on my way to school. Come on, I can do it. Damn it, my feet aren't moving.
ヨシユキ、何やってるの？自分の右足を持って前に進もうとしてるんだけど、足が動かない状態。
Whoa, Captain, I can't see ahead of me due to the blizzards.
桜吹雪のことかな？利口なのか。バカに付き合ってるとろくなことないよ。
Excuse me, young ladies over there, why don't you wait?
急に元に戻らないでよ。相変わらずだね、ヨシユキくん。
Since this is a typical morning, sleepy.
珍しく遅刻しないでいるのに。バカなことしている間に遅刻しちゃうよ。
So, I imagined if, he's this sleepy and just I can't be asked to move, I can't move my legs. Imagine if you woke up earlier then. Yes, that wouldn't be good. Alright, let's give it all we've got and make our way to school.
頑張らないとダメなの？
Yeah, just getting to school uses double the energy that I used to play.
やれやれ。ヨシユキくんって面白いね。どこが？ただのバカだよ。
And now you have your own one of those faces. Lust fell proving that they all have that face. Stop calling me an idiot. What would I do if what would you do if I became smart?
その方がいい。
Would you really? Wow. The three of us walk to school. But if he was smarter, what if he outsmarts you and makes you feel like the idiots? I couldn't stop yawning though. I'm really sleepy. I haven't seen you in ages. Just oh, and I'll have you look after or something. Just I can't remember what it was actually. Never any freaking further development on that. If you heard a Facebook kind of sound effect a while back, that was on my end. You probably just check your Facebook, just well, who's talking to me? It's oh no, it's from the video. Yeah, so one second, just gonna check that. Okay. Is that Amikaze ahead of us? Maybe Amikaze sensed us looking at her because she turned around. She clicked her tongue.
あれ、天風さんだよね。多分。
Wait Alright, let's walk to school together. Amikaze glared as I beckoned to her, and she headed for the school gates at a faster pace. She was walking unnaturally fast. Hey, don't walk so fast, you'll
ついてくる
fall.
なうるさい
Foot! She fell face first. Well, good thing she's a robot then, or that would have really hurt. Or maybe it does anyway. Goku and I quickly ran over to her. Hey, are you okay?
大丈夫うるさいいちいち構うな
Because they said with dirt all over her face, she quickly got up and started walking again. Again, she was walking at a fast trot while staggering. What's with her?
吉行嫌われてるの
She hates everyone if she says she hates humans, because then, just like hate everyone, that's a human then, right? Well, I don't know if I should say she hates me. I replied vaguely. Anyway, is that how she behaves towards everyone? Good grief.
いやー、お祭りムードたっぷりですな。
You're right. What's festive? Wataru and I were at the staircase landing during our break. We came here to chat every once in a while, just the two of us. We looked at the decorations in the hallway for the Christmas party. What decorations? A bunch of students walked by carrying big boxes for the party, and various students in strange costumes came and went.
これが終われば冬休みで。
And after a short third term, we'll finally become students on the main campus.
早いですな。
Sure did. I reflected. It seemed like it was just a short time ago that we were looking forward to starting at the affiliated campus. But by now I think we've had enough of it. Although even when we start at the main campus, it's still in the same school, so there won't really be anything new. However, I think it'll feel refreshing.
なんとかしないとな。
When I faced him, Wataru was looking rather serious. What are you talking about?
童貞。
Really? Why is he talking about that now? So abruptly? Wataru stood up and clenched his fists together.
いきなりじゃないって。もうこのお祭りムードに触発されてすんごい焦ってんだっての。
What do festiveness and virginity have to do with each other?
バカ！予習決中のバカ！
What? Why am I being slapped on the back?
香港にまで持っていくつもり？童貞を！
I don't know how to respond to that. If he asks me if I'm going to bring it with me, well, I guess that has to happen if there's no chance.
ああ、もうバカ！
Stop controlling your body. You look weird.
チャンスは自分で作るもんでしょうが。そんでもって。
Man, his faces just get weirder and weirder.
その絶好のタイミングがクリスマスパーティーなんでしょうが。
I see. In other words, he's planned to ask out the girl he likes or he's interested in to the Christmas party. They'll look around at the various events and he'll confess. If he's lucky, they'll start going out and he gets to declare that he's fulfilled his dream of losing his virginity. Doesn't make any sense. Or does he mean like after a while of dating, then maybe, just maybe he'll get laid?
このチャンスを逃してないぞ、ヨシユキ！
Me too.
当たり前だ！いいのか？一人童貞を背負ったまま香港入学でも！
Only virgin? Wait a minute, you tell me that Suganami is already...
あいつの場合、とっくに捨てていても不思議ではない。
I don't know about that, man. I see he hasn't confirmed it yet. He surprised me. Suganami didn't seem to be interested in stuff like that. Maybe he was only pretending to be not interested, but he actually had a girlfriend already? No way. That makes sense. I could totally picture a girl snuggling up to that mysterious and calculating guy. That's very possible. I don't quite get it, but that's outrageous. How could he have lost his virginity?
だろだとしてこれで次俺が童貞してたら義行ちゃん
I'm left behind. Wataru nodded while looking compassionate. Stop that, that sounds terrible.
だったらさこのイベントやるしかないって
Do what?
好きなあの子に猛烈アタックなんとか約束こぎつけてパーティーが済む頃には
I see, okay.
ちなみに義行が狙ってる子って誰
Huh? Come to think of it, who do I have in mind? Do I have someone I like anyways? What about you?
え俺は
This visual novel certainly took a really random turn here, didn't it? It's like, is this really all we care about? It's just like, we gotta get laid before we go to the main campus, man. Screw actually studying, we'll just be idiots forever. Just to try to get laid instead.
俺はやっぱ月島かな
For a moment, my heart jumped. Come to think of it, Wataru had been saying he was interested in Coco. So why are you surprised? I guess his heart hadn't changed.
分かってると思うけど内緒だぜ
Sure. Why are you so cold? I heard a voice below us. It was a student's voice, but it sounded concerned. Wataru and I looked down for the landing.
そっけないって言われても
It was Nanaka. Another boy was confessing to her.
またしても白川だやっぱよく告られるよな
Yeah. Nanaka looked confused with a half smile on her face. She was looking up to the guy. Having a face like that would beg him take advantage. If she doesn't want it, she should just say no firmly. She looked as if she was teasing him by acting timidly. Have you already promised someone?
そうじゃないけど
Looked like he was asking her to hang out with him at the Christmas party, and she was taking her time while dodging his invitation. But you seem to enjoy being with me, right, Shirakawa-san? Why are you acting this way as soon as I asked you to hang out with me?
なんでって言われても
She still didn't give him a firm answer. Was she simply enjoying the situation, or maybe she can find any appropriate words to tell him with? You know, if like people enjoy leading people on, not giving them a firm answer, just like I can't stand that. Either way, the guy seemed to be reaching his limit.
やっぱちょっと問題ありだよな
Do you mean Nanaka?
ああ白川ってどの男に対してもあんなんだろ気さくなんだけど気さくすぎるというかスキンシップも激しいしそりゃあんな可愛い子だもん手なんか握られたりしたら男だったら大体勘違いするよ
In other words, any guy would think Nanaka likes him. Yet if he confesses to her, she turns him down flat. That really was an annoying problem. I wondered what Nanaka was thinking.
月島が困ってたよこういうところさえなければもうちょっと女の子からも好かれるのにって
When I heard Coco's name, my heart pounded for a moment. I guess she talks to Wataru about stuff like that. When she's with me, she doesn't talk about her friends. I just don't get it. You like me, don't you? You're all over me.
好きとかそんなんじゃ
Then what is it? The guy started to get excited. Moreover, he was being extremely persistent.
今回はしつこいな
Yeah. Wataru and I went down the stairs and walked up to Nanaka. The guy saw us and stepped back a bit. Sorry, but Nanaka's already decided to hang out with us, right?
義行くん
Nanaka showed a relieved expression. Wataru got in the guy's face.
申し訳ないけど先約ってことでさ
そうなんだ私この人たちと回る約束してたから
The guy clicked his tongue and left with a "why didn't she say so earlier" look on his face. Well, you know, there are people that are just really crap at, like, you know, answering such a thing. They just can't be blunt about it. Nanaka let out a sigh.
ありがとう、義行くん、板橋くん。
She bowed to us as she said that.
前にも言ったけどさ、白川も反省した方がいいよ。気さくすぎる。
気さく？
白川みたいな可愛い子に懐かれたら、男は大概勘違いしちゃうってこと。好きでもないんなら、誰彼構わずそういうことするのやめる。
なんか自分ではよくわかってないんだけどね。恋愛とか苦手なくせに相手をそういう気持ちにさせてるんだね。気をつけます。
Nanaka dropped her head as she said so. I guess she was thinking about herself. The way things are nowadays is no guarantee that something horrible won't happen. By all means, I want her to be careful. Well, that's actually what's nice about you, though. As I backed her up, Nanaka showed a brighter expression to me.
ありがとう、義行くん。
In her next breath, she held my hands without hesitation as she said so. Now, this is exactly what we were talking about.
それそういうのが勘違いの元なんだってば。
But Taro pointed it out as she spoke in amazement. However, Nanaka just laughed.
大丈夫だよ、義行くんだもん。
In other words, it was a safe bet because I wouldn't misunderstand her. That made me think, though.
ね、義行くん。
Haha. I couldn't say anything. I guess at least I'm not one of her love interests. Actually, I wasn't really feeling anything special either, though. However, I felt rather disappointed. Didn't this mean I was one of the guys who misunderstood her? Ah, what sad creatures guys are. I think I'll call it a day for recording here. Saving once again on one of these type of rigging ones. Well, anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.